Hi, my name's Peggy Hanson and welcome to my kitchen. Today we're going to make buttermilk scones. I have in this bowl a mixture of 3 cups white flour and 1 cup whole wheat pastry flour. I like to get some whole wheat in my things. I've added 2 tablespoons of sugar, 1.5 tablespoons of baking powder, 1 teaspoon salt, and 1 teaspoon soda. That's all in here. Now I'm adding butter, cut up in little pieces, cold butter. This is 2/3 of a cup, which is just about 12 tablespoons. There are different ways that you can incorporate butter into this flour. One is to use a pastry cutter, but today I'm just going to do this with my fingertips. You don't even need a pastry cutter, and you just kind of squeeze and lift and incorporate this. Now I'm using real butter. Don't use margarine or any substitute. If you're going to make scones with this recipe, I think you should just use real butter, and that's going to give you great flavor. Once this is mixed up together a little bit more, I'm going to quickly combine in some buttermilk. If you don't have buttermilk, you could use yogurt thinned with a little milk or water. That's plain unsweetened yogurt. But I like buttermilk. I like to have buttermilk around my house all the time. You see, we're slowly getting this incorporated. We're almost done. You could do this with a food processor if you have a big bowl on it, but I don't know. This is just the basic technique here, if you don't have a lot of equipment around. Alright, okay, I think that's good enough. This is 1.5. I'm going to put in 1.5 cups of buttermilk. There's a little bit more of that in here. You never quite know how much buttermilk to put in. It depends on the flour. So I just dumped it all in. I'm going to move it around with the fork here. And this is where you need, it takes practice. See what's happening here? I think my cameraman can come in close to see how the dry flour is just slowly getting incorporated. And I'm looking at this and I'm just seeing a little too much dry flour over here. I'm going to add a little bit more buttermilk. This is where the art comes in, not the science. Starting to all hold together. See that? A little bit more. You do want to work pretty quickly here because you want to keep that butter cold. All right. Now, I'm going to add just the rest of this. So this actually ended up being more like 1 3/4 cups, or let's say 1 2/3 cups of buttermilk, even though the recipe calls for 1.5 cups. Okay, now you need a board or some kind of a kneading surface. I'm going to put some flour on here. We don't want to do a lot. Spread it around. This is a great tool, this little scraper guy. I put it right here. I still think it's a little bit dry. Put this on here. Okay. And now I'm just going to kind of put it all together. Knead it a little bit. Now this recipe makes 18 kind of nice medium-sized scones. So what I'm going to do here, I think it's the quickest and easiest, is I like to cut the dough into about 3 different chunks. You know, if it's important to you, you can weigh it out, but I kind of eyeball it. Okay. And then each little chunk, I think I'll just show you one of them here in the interest of time. See how? Press, fold, push. Press, fold, push. And we end up with this nice little, patty, I guess we'd call it. A little bit more flour on here. Okay. And see, I'm using the heel of my hand just to press it out. You don't want it too thin. Kind of a matter of taste. And now we're going to cut this into 6 pieces. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I put together a little egg wash. There we go. I don't mind dirty hands for a little while here. And we're going to put a little egg wash. This is 1 egg, well beaten, with, I don't know, 1/4 cup of milk or so. And this, you don't have to do this, but it's a very nice way to make the scones look nice. I'll just show you 2 for now. And this is some, raw sugar, demerara sugar, some people call it. I like to put a little bit of that on top. I'm going to put that onto the baking sheet. See, if I do it this way, I can fit 4 across. And I'm going to keep putting these scones onto this baking sheet. We're going to bake at 400 degrees, and I'll be back in just a little while to show you what they look like when they come out. So here we are, 18 buttermilk scones with an egg wash and a little sugar on top. We're going to put it in the oven, and I would say about 10 minutes at 425 degrees. Maybe keep your eye on it starting in about 8 minutes. Okay. And here are 18 beautiful buttermilk scones with a little sparkly sugar top. And these are excellent with, you could have raspberry jam, maybe made from some of your Featherstone raspberries, or lemon curd. And if you check my blog, you can find that at featherstonefarm.com. There's a link. I'll put a recipe on there for lemon curd sometime soon. And I will say one more thing. I don't know if you noticed, but this is a goose feather, little bunch of goose feathers, and this is a great pastry brush. So that was what I used to put the egg wash on the scone. And if you can find these, I recommend them. I think they're a great little pastry brush. So enjoy your scones.